Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and today we're talking about Babylon 5 once again. As you recall, the last episode was where Sheridan had been under intense interrogation until they finally gave up on him and sent him to the dreaded other room. And it turns out that it was just another interrogator, this time using more drugs and electronic means in order to basically break him and brainwash him into thinking that he had already gotten away and returned home. And in fact, the episode opens up where he's talking to Stephen at a bistro on Babylon 5, and Stephen trying to find out how he got away. And it turns out that it was all a fever dream in which he thought that he was away, but actually still being interrogated. Meanwhile, Garibaldi has the tar beaten out of him by everybody on Mars when he tries to go back and redeem himself, but only by the fact that Lead Alexander was there to be able to see into his mind, to know that he was telling the truth, that it was all Bester causing him to do all of these things since he came back from that ship that he was imprisoned on. And so they decide that they're going to let him basically lead the team in there, and they don't have much of a team, so it's rather touch and go as to whether he is going to be able to get in and spring Sheridan, but they do, and it's a fairly clever way that they do it. Then we have the situation with Ivanova and the White Star Fleet, where the Earth Force has shadow technology now and is bearing down and causes great wreckage among White Star 1, where Ivanova is. And we see her sometime after they've sprung Sheridan, and she's in traction and not expected to live out the week. We don't know what's happened to Garibaldi during the pursuit to get into where Sheridan was. He was stabbed in the back, and so there was some bleeding going on because even after a quick stitch up by Dr. Franklin, he was still bleeding out and had lost a lot of blood to begin with. So we don't really know what his condition is. We know that they are going to continue their attack onto Mars. With the help of Londo and Jakar, they are able to convince the unaligned worlds to join the fight, seeing that the fleet needs as many ships as it can in going against Earth. And so they do this without the presence of Delenn. Delenn might have been trying to persuade them due to personal reasons. Certainly, Londo and Jakar did not. So with all of that, we have a huge fleet that, despite the setback that has injured Ivanova, they have managed to spring Sheridan and also continue on with their now built-up fleet toward Earth, or toward Mars first, and eventually toward Earth. So that is the next to the last episode in the series, and so it builds up to the great finale that is yet to come. I have to hand it to the writing on this. It's very tight writing. The humor brought in amongst the very tense elements works very well and delivered very well by Jerry Doyle, who can make a straight line funny. And the same thing with Claudia Christian, who, as Ivanova, has this certain snark about her no matter what she says. And so that all works in there. And they're all doing very much the big heroic thing. So all of this is coming to a head. We have a completely united force that's going against the Earth Force, and it should be a pretty good battle at the end. And we now know, of course, that we always knew, we did as the audience always knew that Bester was the bad guy, and certainly nobody ever trusted him, but they didn't think he went as far as basically planning Garibaldi as a Manchurian Candidate. So I have some feelings that he's going to be paying for that. So that's all to come in the big last episode, which we'll have for you next week. So it's nice to be back talking about Babylon 5. Depending on how the breaks are this week, we may have another Deep Space Nine, but certainly we will get on with that pretty soon. We are doing, of course, the revisits of Doctor Who under John Pertwee, and we have selected series of that, and we have 3 more to go on there, so we will have that finished up by the end of the month. And then in July we have Star Trek Strange New Worlds coming your way, and so we'll have more new content to talk about at that point. So thank you for joining us, and until next time, don't forget to subscribe if you please, and we'll see you next week. And we'll